6:51, time for the morning sprint.
Terrell Brooks will return to court today as his trial continues. The prosecution had witnesses take the stand on Friday to go over details of what happened before the driver breached the parade route in November of last year. More testimony will continue today. Brooks is representing himself in the case.
University of Wisconsin's American Indian Studies program celebrating 50 years today on Indigenous Peoples Day. They're inviting the community to participate. There will be a panel discussion which will include the first woman to head the U.S. Bureau of Indian Affairs. Students will also present their research related to Native issues and communities.
The Zoe Bayless Co-op has found a new home on Langdon Street, giving a group of UW students some peace of mind. The co-op's search for a new home began when UW leadership announced their building on Johnson was being torn down for a new academic building. The new property still needs a lot of renovation, but it does mean rent will stay low. They plan to have the new open house by next year's fall semester. Police are investigating a shooting outside of New York Congressman and Republican gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin's home. 2 people were injured in that shooting, but their names are not released yet. Zeldin says his family is shaken after a bullet landed just 30 feet from his 16-year-old daughters, but says they are safe.
Developing news out of Ukraine this morning. Ukraine's president is pushing to have the UN designate Russia as a terrorist state. It follows Russia's deadly missile attack on civilians. Over the weekend, at least a dozen people died when homes and apartment buildings were destroyed in the city of Zaporizhia. The attacks followed the bombing of a Russian bridge, which Russia's president called a terrorist act.
Twitter has locked Kanye West's account after an anti-Semitic tweet posted by the rapper. In the tweet, which has been removed, West said he is going, quote, DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, end quote. Twitter locked the rapper's account for violating its policies on hate speech. On Friday, West's Instagram account was also restricted for policy violations. It's not known how long the rapper's accounts will be suspended.
North Korea releasing new photos of leader Kim Jong-Un observing a missile launch after 2 weeks during which the country fired several ballistic missile tests. North Korea fired 2 early Sunday. Officials in Seoul and Tokyo said, making it the 7th such launch since September 25th.
At least 22 people are dead after days of heavy rain in Venezuela resulted in a major landslide. More than 50 people still unaccounted for this morning as crews there continue working through debris and clearing roads to restore electricity and water services. During the past week, torrential rain has caused flooding in 11 of Venezuela's 23 states.
Hurricane Julia taking aim this morning at El Salvador and Guatemala. It slammed into Nicaragua Sunday, carrying top winds up to 85 miles an hour and a storm surge. The surges were about 4 feet in some areas. The storm devastated San Andres Island in Colombia when it was still a tropical storm on Saturday.
A second trial against Harvey Weinstein is set to begin in Los Angeles with jury selection today. Weinstein faces 11 charges involving sexual assault of 5 women between 2004 and 2013 in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. Weinstein is already serving a 23-year sentence for similar charges in New York, but it is currently being appealed. If convicted in California, he faces a life sentence.
How about this? American runner Emily Sisson taking second in the Chicago Marathon, but listen to her time. She just set the American women's marathon record, beating the previous one by 43 seconds. She clocked in at 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 29 seconds. Benson Kipruto of Kenya won the men's division with a time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 24 seconds.
Members of the pop band BTS could be drafted into military service in South Korea. The country's military commissioner told lawmakers that it's fair and desirable for band members to fulfill their military duties. Under South Korean law, all able-bodied men must serve up to 21 months in the military, but there are exemptions for athletes and those in the arts who instead must do hundreds of hours of community service. A decision from officials is expected soon.
An experimental treatment for asthma showing some promise this morning. Researchers at New York's University Grossman School of Medicine have found that blocking calcium signals in cells greatly reduced asthma inflammation in the lungs of mice. They found this approach does not compromise the body's defense against the flu.
Temperatures are into the 30s and 40s headed out the door this morning. Wisconsin Dells, you're at 33, 38 right here in Madison. Meanwhile, 43 for our friends in Janesville. Over the next 12 hours, look for those temperatures warming up into the mid-60s. Then we'll focus towards tomorrow, where we'll see those temperatures warming up into the 70s for your afternoon highs. Lots of sunshine on your Tuesday as well. Chances for showers and thunderstorms will return for Wednesday. And then you see we get a lot cooler.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Go make it a great day, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.